EFCC investigate how a civil servant's salary could sustain such extravagant expenditure. In a nation where over 10 million children, particularly in the North, lack access to basic education, this lavish spending by a public servant is not merely a matter of personal choice, it is a moral outrage. While countless Nigerian families struggle to afford primary schooling, AMES children attended secondary institutions costing more per term than the annual budgets of some federal colleges. This stark inequality represents an injustice that cannot be ignored. The absence of transparency regarding how these ongoing expenses are funded further fuels public suspicion. If AMES wealth can support such early secondary and tertiary education, the public deserves to know the legitimate sources of these funds, especially given his role as a public servant accountable to Nigerian taxpayers. The CCN's allegations are grounded in rigorous evidence stemming from a petition to the Attorney General of the Federation after weeks of verification, fact-finding, public record reviews. We question how a public official, salary is known, and whose assets must be constitutionally declared, could finance such an extraordinary level of overseas education without a visible commercial empire or disclosed inheritance. The petition raises serious concerns about potential abuse of office, asset concealment, or diverse of public funds under AMES leadership at NMDPRA. Public response has been resolute, with peaceful protests by lawyers, students, and civil groups targeting the Attorney General's office, ICPC, EFCC, National Assembly, and NMDPRA headquarters. These demonstrations, supported by formal letters and placards, demanded a transparent investigation. The NMDPRA's attempt to dismiss these voices as faceless is a cynical effort to undermine lawful civic engagement, further eroding public trust. The NMDPRA statement conspicuously avoided addressing key issues. It did not deny the children's attendance at the listed secondary schools, nor did it provide any breakdown of how tuition was funded. It offered no details on asset declarations, loans, business income, family inheritance, or blind trusts, relying instead on vague appeals to AMES' reputation and integrity. In a democracy, these claims or such claims are insufficient when a public servant's lifestyle appears misaligned with their declared income. The burden of proof rests with AMES, not the public. The CCB, ICPC, and EFCC have constitutional mandates to investigate cases of unexplained wealth, ensuring that public officials are held accountable. This case tests the credibility of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's anti-corruption and transparency agenda. The CCNN is not calling for AMES' immediate removal, but for an open, independent investigation. If he's innocent, a transparent process will vindicate him. However, continued silence risks tarnishing both his reputation and the government's reform efforts. Ignoring these allegations would be a grave miscalculation. The CCNN is submitting additional letters, pursuing legal action, and mobilizing further protests to ensure accountability.